Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the F Words of Life, the F Words Reset Experience. I'm super excited to be back here with you live. We are streaming live on Instagram. We are streaming live on Facebook. Hopefully today, fingers crossed, we don't have any technical malfunctions like we did yesterday. Facebook was giving me a challenge yesterday. Instagram was giving me a challenge the day before. So hopefully today, everything goes super smooth right here live from my office studio in beautiful San Diego. And hopefully the sound and the lighting is okay. It looks a little dark, but hopefully it's all right. And before we jump into today's topic and training and coaching, I want to congratulate those of you that have been showing up every day. It is day four of the F Words Reset. And I'm super excited to have so many of you engaged both in the live broadcast as well as in the replays. That's been fabulous to see you engaging, and I want to congratulate you. Give yourself a pat on the back. We've got one more day tomorrow. We're going to finish off week one, and the next week we're going to jump into week two, which is part of what we're going to talk about today. Hey, Jay. You can just call me Coach B or Coach Brenda. You don't need to call me Coach Reynolds. That sounds like my dad. Anyway, speaking of my dad, I'll start off with a sentimental moment. I was talking to my aunt today, and today marks the 6-month anniversary since my dad passed away, which I can't believe 6 months has gone so quickly, which I've had a lot of contemplating today of why does it seem like it lasts forever, and then other times it seems like it went by like that. And, you know, one of the questions I've always asked in my coaching is, what if you only had 6 months left and you knew? And it's a really powerful question. And right now it's a really powerful question for me because I'm looking in retrospect and I can really feel that 6-month time period, and it's not very fast. I mean, it is very fast. Sorry, it goes very fast. That's what I meant to say. It goes very fast. It goes very quickly. And so that's why we're here, is we are here to make this the best day, the best week, the best month, the best quarter, and ultimately the best year and life that you can absolutely live. And so to recap, again, thanks for joining me. My name is Brenda Reynolds, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys going through this training, coaching, and accountability, because the accountability is, are you showing up every day? Are you taking the actions that we are putting together in a small, bite-sized way during this process? Because if you want to improve your life in any area, much less all 7 areas of the F Words of life, it's a daily process. Sometimes it's a minute-by-minute process, but it's not a one-time event. You can have a breakthrough in a moment, but to sustain that, it's a daily activity. So congratulations to you who have been showing up for yourself every day. I appreciate you showing up, but what is most important to me is that you're showing up for yourself. So let's recap what we've done so far. We have started us out on day 1, really just setting ourselves up for success by downloading the F Words Reset Guidebook. I have mine right here. So if you don't have yours, you can go still download this absolutely for no cost, free 100%, the FWORDS.com/FWordsReset. If you go to the FWordsofLife.com, you can also click on the button in the upper right-hand corner, send your friends there, share it. So that's your guidebook. You also liked the F Words of Life on social media, either on Instagram or on Facebook. So really key to like and follow the F Words of Life. So we're recapping. We've got our guidebook that we've got going. You have liked the F Words of Life and are following on social media so that you're catching these live broadcasts every single day, Monday through Friday. Live coaching, live accountability, and live training. Then on day 2, on Tuesday, what we did is we took a look at where are you right now. So we're in week 1 of the FWORDS reset, and I'm going to keep recapping this for you guys because it's important for you to recognize the work that you're doing. You're taking steps to create momentum, and when you do that every single day, that's when momentum happens. And so on day 2, we looked at where are you right now. We took a quantitative inventory of where you are in all 7 FWORDS of life. And so we defined those areas. I say we because I think, again, this is our community. This is our F tribe. So I use we a lot when I mean I, but I've never been an I person. So when I'm coaching somebody, we're in this as a team. So when you're participating in this, you're my team. And so we took an inventory, a quantitative inventory of where you are in each of the 7 FWORDS of life. Okay. And I gave you a couple of contemplative questions to do for your action that night. So you could just really get grounded, because we can't change anything and really improve upon it. Number 1, if we're not measuring it. And number 2, if we don't know where you are right now. Okay. And then yesterday was day 3. What we did is we really broke down into a bite-sized piece. One improvement or change you want to make in each of the 7 areas of the FWORDS of life. And so if you've missed any of the trainings up till now, they are available on Facebook. Instagram, I'm running both of you at the same time. So Instagram, I'm streaming with you. Facebook, I'm streaming with you. Instagram only keeps live replays up for 24 hours. So if you're on Instagram watching the replay, you can go to facebook.com/the FWORDS of life and catch all of the replays there at any time. Whether you're seeing this the day after, the day of, or 6 months from now, those videos and trainings will be there for you. So yesterday we really dialed in. What do you want to change? And got focused on one thing in each area. Now today, what we're going to do is I want to lay out really the next 3 weeks of what our game plan is, because this week has been a lot about setting the foundation. Okay. What I'm going to share with you now is what I call the fundamentals formula for success. It also can be the formula for failure if you don't follow it. And so it really is a system. It's a sequence, it's a process, it's a formula, however you want to think about this. It's a way for you, even on your own, if you feel like you're struggling or you want to excel in something, you can go through this process very quickly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, and use this to continue to raise the bar on what you're doing in your life, okay? And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set the context. Right? Where are we going? You've jumped in, you have followed me, you have been here and trusted me to lead you and guide you through this process. Today I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of where we're going for the next 3 weeks. And so in your guidebook, if you have it, if you've saved it to your mobile device, your computer, or if you've printed it out, we're on page 10, and it's a pyramid of success. And this is how I have created success and also found where I've fallen down is when I miss one of these pieces. So I want you to think of this as kind of 3 stages that are just like a pyramid. We're going to start with our base stage, right? We're going to lay that next piece on top of the foundation we've already been laying, then stage 2, and then stage 3. At the top of our pyramid, and I know on Instagram, if you're watching this, Instagram doesn't flip it. So yes, the words are on backwards. It's one of the reasons I like recording it on Facebook, is because it does flip the words so they're in the right direction. Hopefully you can read them. But either way, you get the concept, right? You get the picture. On the top here, we have success and failure teetering intentionally on top of the pyramid. Because depending on how you work this pyramid over and over and over, that's how you're going to know if you're going to land on success or failure, and that's where it's going to pivot back and forth. So this is something you can use over and over. Now, what I'm not going to do today is I'm not going to take a deep dive into each one of these stages. Okay, so if we think of a stage 1, 2, and 3, whatever you want to, A, B, and C, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not attached to a name, but think of this as a process, because we have to start here first. That is important. Then we're going to go to the middle, then we're going to go to the top. Okay, now, so I'm going to define and give you the fill in the blanks. Now, next week, what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on this stage 1. Then the following week, we're going to focus on the next stage. And the following week, we're going to, and it may not fall exactly Monday through Friday or whatever, but in general, we're going to spend the next 3 weeks in these 3 specific phases of success and failure, this specific formula. So let's get started with our bottom, most important identifying phase or stage, okay? So your first fill in the blank. What we're going to focus on first is vision. And so you can write that in, vision, okay? That is going to be our step 1 in this process. And there's going to be a lot of steps. I mentioned this yesterday. When you are training and coaching and facilitating and speaking and writing how to create change in other people, in yourself, how do we sustain that? I wish I could give you like the magic button to just push and boom, there it was. Unfortunately, it's not that way. And that's what most people are looking for. Most people are looking for, Brenda, give me the magic pill. Just give it to me. There's got to be one, right? I'll pay whatever. I wish there was. And if I could find it, I would be a bazillionaire, right? Because everybody would want the instant quick fix. That's not how we become great. And become good and then great and then absolutely extraordinary, we must do the work. We must take the steps that are needed. And step 1 is creating and casting your vision. So we're going to go through a process, of course, where I lead you through how to actually create your vision. Because if you don't have that vision driving you, what I can tell you is that's a lot of where your failures in the past have come from. Because what's going to drive you to get out of bed in the morning? What's going to drive you to do the hard things if you don't have that vision that has meaning to you? So that's going to be where we start, in this next part of this process and building our success formula, okay? Next, still on that phase or stage 1 piece, we are going to look at your goals and create your goals. So that's your next. So in that first stage of the formula, we're going to focus on vision and goals. And I'm going to break this down into multiple pieces. It is not just going to be, okay, write your vision, okay, write your goals. We're going to break your vision down into 2 parts. I'm going to explain why it's so important, the science behind why it's so important to have a clear vision. And we're going to go through a very specific way in how to write your goals that have been proven over and over and over to be the most powerful way to write your goals and manifest them in the shortest amount of time. Okay, that's going to be stage 1. I hope you're excited because I am. So next week, that's what we're going to start on. The next stage after that, so we're going to define vision and goals, and then most people would say, okay, we get to jump to action. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do to fulfill on our goals and our visions? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. What we are going to do next is we are going to look at a very commonly thrown around word right now in the professional and personal development field, but we're really going to dig into this, which is mindset. We're going to define what mindset is. I've got 3 bullet points underneath that where we're really going to hone in and define your mindset. How do you, if you're going to win a motocross race, which I know nothing about, I have no idea why I just picked that example, or car race, right? You're going to fine tune every piece. The Masters tournament's going on right now. If you want to go out and you want to win the Masters, which is golf, you're going to fine tune every piece, right? To be at maximum performance when the time comes. That's what we're going to do with your mindset. And mindset to me, if you don't work on that before you work on taking action or creating habits, if you don't have the right mindset, that's again where you're going to undermine yourself, where you're going to find yourself falling down. You're going to find yourself failing and having setbacks. So that's what we're going to work on first inside stage 2, mindset. Our next piece of the puzzle inside stage 2 is very closely related. And it is your beliefs. So as you can see how I see this, right, in my formula, this fundamental formula for success is visions and goal go hand in hand, right? They go together. These go together in this first stage that we're building this pyramid, and you notice the pyramid's going up, right? We're going up towards our success and or our failures. Next, mindset and beliefs go hand in hand, okay? Hand in hand, not hand and hand. Hand in hand, I believe is the way it's said. So we're going to dive into that, and then we're going to hone in on mindset, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at your current belief system. What are some of those things, whether it's from childhood, from the media, from, your family, from church? Nobody did anything bad on purpose is kind of the assumption that I'm going in on. I'm not talking about a major, act against you. Where, again, I mentioned yesterday, I'm not a therapist. We're not doing therapy. That's not what this is about. But we all have wiring inside our brains that is ingrained thought patterns that we subconsciously think thousands and thousands and thousands times a day, which is crazy. Part of those thoughts help make us successful because it's like brushing your teeth. You don't have to think about it, right? You're on autopilot. Well, if your subconscious thoughts are negative or limiting beliefs and those are on autopilot, guess what? Those are the things that are getting in your way. Those are the things that are undermining your success. And so you can set a goal and you can do the action, right? You can set the goal, you can do the action, set the goal, do the action. But if in between you have a mindset and a belief that says, I am not worth this, I'm not worthy, I'm never going to have success with this, guess what? The likelihood of you reaching the pinnacle of the goal that you deserve to reach is very, very low. So that's why this is the middle of the sandwich. We are going to work on mindset and beliefs in a very specific, process-oriented way. Again, bite-size every day so that this isn't an overwhelming experience. Because could this be an overwhelming experience? Absolutely. It's still going to feel like a lot, even breaking this down bite-size every day. We're doing this over a 4-week period. People, my friends, what I want to tell you, this is a lifetime experience. That's why I want to give you a framework so you can go back and have this at any time and go, okay, I feel like I'm teetering towards failure in this particular area. Let me go back through this. All right. And then the following weeks, this is again our next 3 weeks of what we're going to be focused on. This is the content. You want to know what you're in for? This is it. This is the good stuff. We're the final piece of the puzzle. Your first piece of stage 3 are your actions. Your actions. And we're going to define what that means. And again, I have subheadings, sub-bullet points that we're going to work on and really break that down into incremental, bite-sized pieces so you know what actions and what does that actually mean so that you're building upon the rest of the success pyramid so that you can create traction, momentum, and get what you want. The final piece of the puzzle is going to be, drum roll please, it's going to be your habits. Your habits. And so actions and habits I have separated for a specific reason. So you're going to want to stay tuned and stay engaged with this reset experience throughout the entire process so that we get to the habit building piece and we can systemize that at once you've created your vision and defined your goals in a specific way. And we're going to write those. I'm going to teach you the most powerful way to write those. Then we're going to delve into your mindset and almost like a checklist of, is this my mindset? Where am I at with this? Where do I need to shift? And then again, your beliefs. What's your current belief structure, positive or negative? And how can we be more deliberate and intentional with reprogramming this CPU that we have up here, right? It's a processing center that we have up here in our brain, and you absolutely can rewire your neural net so that you can actually manifest and have better success with your actions and with your habits, which we're going to, again, break down. And not only are we going to break this down, because this is all the F words of life. And if you've watched the previous trainings or if you go back and you watch them, there's 7 areas, 7 main F words of life. And so we're not talking about just improving one specific area. We're not talking about, hey, we're just going to work on your health goals. We're just going to work on, your family goals. We have to break it down. And so once we get up to the top, you're probably most likely only going to be working on one, maybe two F words at a time. Because when we try to do all 7 at one time, or all of life, this is the person who, on New Year's Eve, I love this person. They're like, okay, here's what I'm going to change. Here are my New Year's resolutions, right? I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I'm going to have the best relationship with my significant other that I can. I'm going to be the best mom. I'm going to, earn $1 million. I'm going to get the raise at work. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to start a business. We don't have the capacity, as amazing as our brains are, we don't have the capacity with everything else going on in our life to do everything simultaneously. So what I can tell you is, if you follow this over and over and over, if you stick with me through the next 3 weeks, not if, when you stick with me through the next 3 weeks, because you're worth taking 15 to 30 minutes out of your day to work on this Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday is going to be a time for you to decompress, a time for you to go back and catch up if you missed a training, if you missed doing an action step in between, if you want to go back and tweak, you want to go back and revisit. So we're just doing this 5 days a week, not 7. I need a break. You need a break. You need to recharge. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So I wanted to give you this so that you get excited about moving forward into this next phase of the F Words reset. You can start thinking about these things. Tomorrow, on Friday, I would like to take some Q&A. So if you've watched any of the videos this week, we're just building momentum. We're getting people engaged. If you've had questions on anything so far, it could be as simple as, how do I get a friend or family member involved in this? It could be, what if I'm doing this and my friends and family hate me? You're already fear projecting out, like, hey, I want to do these changes, but what about that? It could be any kind of coaching question that you want. It could be, I really struggled with my evaluation. I'm really disappointed with where I am, or I'm really happy. What do I do about this, that, or the other? You can put it in the question box at any time. You can also show up tomorrow live at 5:45 Pacific, 8:45 Eastern on Instagram and on Facebook, and bring your live questions. And then I'm also, of course, going to have the beginning stages of what we're going to start on in terms of vision. So if nobody has questions and everybody's rocking and rolling, guess what? We're going to go right into vision, because vision is a big piece of the puzzle. And I'd like to plant those seeds before the weekend, so you can actually start working on that a little bit on the weekend. And then we'll dive into that even more on Monday and start refining it and honing it and making it even more crystal clear. And so that is the game plan. Are we sounding good? Are we liking this? Are we loving this? Are we giving me hearts? Are we giving me thumbs up? What are we doing? I hope that you are really getting value out of this. I love showing up and doing these trainings for you. Truly, it's my passion. It's my mission. It's what I absolutely love. I love creating, things like this. I have a big poster board on my wall right over here where I have it, and I keep brainstorming and adding to it. This is where we're going. 3 more stages. We've laid the foundation this week. Where are you right now? I got you thinking and starting to be primed for, where do you want to go? What are some shifts you want to make? Now it's time to take it into hyperdrive and build on this layer by layer by layer. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the question mark, or the comment box, whether you're watching this on the replay, whether you're watching this live, it doesn't matter to me. I do go back and I look at the questions for a couple of days after the fact. And so if you have questions, show up live here tomorrow. We'll do a live Q&A. And if, like I said, if nobody has any questions and everything's been crystal clear, because I've been so brilliant at presenting this content to you so far, we're going to jump right into visioning tomorrow. So you don't want to miss this. Like I said, we want to plant those seeds before the weekend so that you can get going. And I want to say this one more time. It is not too late for someone that you love to join into this. So if you want them to participate, if you just want to share it, don't pressure somebody into doing this with you. But if it's something you want to share, it's not too late. Yes, it's a 4-week program, but they can join in at any time. If you fall off the wagon for some reason, just jump back in on whatever day's lesson that we are in. All right? That's all I'm asking you to do is show up. Show up for yourself. And by showing up for yourself, you will be the best version for those people that love you and that you love, whether that be at work, inside your business, in your personal relationships, your friends and your family, wherever that might be, in your community, in your church. That's what this is about, and experiencing the best life ever. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Look at that. I managed under 30 minutes. Guys, I get on here and I get so excited. I'm trying to keep it shorter. So you can also give me feedback on the length of time. How are we doing on that? Or keeping it bite-sized? I'm open to your feedback. I'm here to serve you. I appreciate you, again, for showing up for yourself. I honor you for doing that. I'm very grateful for you in showing up and us growing as a community, because every time I do one of these trainings, every time I create new content or repackage, the concepts that I've read from a million books that you see, and these are just a few, believe me, that's my job, is to study this and bring this to you. So every time I do that, I'm talking to myself. So if you feel like you come and you get a pep talk or you get an action step, guess what? I get the same thing back in return, and I appreciate you showing up. So for now, have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, wherever this training video may find you. And I'll look forward to seeing you back here Friday live, 5:45 p.m. Pacific, which is 8:45 p.m. Eastern here in the States. If you're international, please make the conversion. We'll be here. And if you don't catch us live, we'll see you on the replay. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. Coach Brenda, peace out for tonight. See you guys.